Dan. Rugby League's just not talking to me at the moment.
Look, it is still talking to me, but unfortunately it's saying, F*** you, Daniel!
Hey all, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe to everyone. Daniel?
Mate, just before we get into the football, just want to give a shout out to a good friend of the show, to Courtney and Lockie. Thinking of you both, all the best, and anything we can do, please feel free.
Now, a indifferent weekend of football. I thought the games were good, apart from our team.
Yeah, one I can think of wasn't much good. Some good, some bad, but...
Tip 7 from 8, if you take into the account that I actually had to tip the Tigers, so it was 6 from 8.
Yeah, it was the same, actually, because of the same thing, but yeah.
Both our teams let us down.
What are we going to do, mate? It's all good, but...
Well, let's get to the talking points, Dan. Selwyn Cobbo, another victim of the elbow sin binning.
The first victim.
There was another one?
Tino?
Yeah,
Big
that
Tino.
one was soft.
It was.
That one was real soft.
It was really soft, but it isn't funny that no one was saying anything. A couple of weeks ago, you and I bring it up right on this very couch, and suddenly it's a thing. I'm not saying we run rugby league, but I'm not saying we don't either.
Yeah, that was a reputational penalty then because Mitchell Moses is one a sook and Tino has given away a couple of penalties. The Cobbo incident, I have to admit, I missed the Brisbane game on Saturday night, so I'm going to take your word here and then probably flip it and get the truth.
Yeah, a guy I've seen worse, much worse. I thought it was a bit, but I'm glad to see it penalised.
Yeah.
Sin was probably a little bit over the top, but I have a problem with players running like this, as I've said on here before. Here, okay, up here, unnatural, dangerous. You can't tell me that there's a crackdown on head injuries, that it stops and concussions don't exist just because you got a ball under your arm. So I was happy to see it penalised. Thought Simbin was a little bit over the top. I feel like I've seen worse. As for the Tino one, I think reputation is right where it is because I thought it was pretty soft.
Speaking of disgraceful, how did Regan Campbell-Gillard stay on the field?
Well, he got 10 in the bin.
No, that was a send-off.
Look,
Yeah, that referee bottled it.
he dropped knees.
Yeah.
I dare say that if they weren't already down to 12, he might have looked at a send-off.
Ah, man.
I think he got overawed with the occasion there, but that was pretty awful.
Yeah, well, not only awful, but ordinary as well.
Very ordinary.
From a guy who has just had to fix his reputation to get himself back into the Origin arena and played really well.
He played very well, but...
Played really well for Parramatta, but he did not deserve to stay on the field. That was a dog act.
Well, I'm not going to disagree. You can't be dropping knees in a bloke's back. He had plenty of time to stop. Pretty bad.
And it's not as if he tried to fall and accidentally clocked him with the knees. He let him.
It was a double knee.
Yeah.
You
No, that was
see.
an absolute dog act. He should have been sent. He deserves a holiday for that as well.
Look, I think he'll be suspended. Yeah, sure.
Now, the Titans' decision. 2 weeks in a row, the Titans have lost a decision. One, their player was offside. This time, Tanner Boyd had a shot at field goal. Referee called him out.
Twice.
Didn't blow the penalty, though.
Didn't blow the penalty. 3 or 4 minutes ago, Tanner Boyd has a shot right in front.
Charged down.
Charged down by players that we twice yelled offside. You're off. You went early. Regan.
But
Who was the charge down from?
Was it from Regan?
Regan Campbell-Gillard.
I didn't think he called Regan Campbell-Gillard out. I thought he called Ryan Madison, and Madison pulled out. But it doesn't matter. He was still inside the 10 metres.
It doesn't matter. As of last week, and I went online really quickly and I said, that's why I have a problem with last week's decision, which was absolutely correct for the record. But you're not seeing it week on week. We picked 10.
Yeah, but this just shows the difference. Grant Atkins has got a bottle. This guy wouldn't send Regan Campbell-Gillard off and then wouldn't make a big decision. He's a shit ref, let's be honest.
Well, look, on today's, you can't really argue. But
he has been all year as well.
Completely.
He was also the one that was involved in the Tigers fiasco as well. How this guy keeps getting a game, I have no idea.
Well, shout out to whoever you are. I don't like you. But do you have a problem with it being called once in a million, or the fact that is everyone else wrong?
No, as I said, I sat here last week praising Grant Atkins for the correct decision. I'm now bagging Chris Butler for being a pleb. I'll leave this one for you here, Daniel.
Mighty New South Wales Blues won a game that meant nothing to no one, and suddenly everyone's talking about how everything's going in the right direction. I'm calling it Freddy's false dawn.
Yeah, look, I think if this is a decider, you see a different Queensland team.
You cannot tell me in any way that Queensland went in with anything other than, I'd be cool to win 3-0.
Yeah. I had two issues with this. One, my feelings on the dead rubber, they've been there for the entirety And the second thing as well is that Queensland got to raise the shield after a loss away from home. This game meant nothing.
Been going on about that for years.
Yeah.
You win it. It should be the winning team should get to choose when they lift the shield. Like if New South Wales had won it in Queensland, of course they're going to wait to game 3 to lift it in front of their fans. Mm-hmm. Queensland had every right to blow up, but that's been going on for years. It is what it is. It needs to change, but it's not going to. I go back to Freddy Fittler again, my favourite. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's any secret to anyone that I particularly like this bloke. I think he's quirky for the sake of it. I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's been lucky in the wins that he has had. Comes out and says, I have to look and decide whether I'm the best man for the job. Well, if he doesn't know he's not the best man, that says a lot about his intelligence.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing with his bench, let alone whether he's a good coach.
He doesn't. Now, he got lucky the other night that Queensland didn't turn up because he had Clint Gutherson play 3 minutes and he admitted, we said right here, he had no plan. Mm-hmm. He got lucky. Now, Bradman Best played particularly well. I thought that was very good.
I thought he was arguably best on ground. No pun intended.
Look, he was great. Cody Walker was. Mm-hmm. But for them to come in game 3 and pick a side that won a dead rubber and go, oh, I felt we were in the series. Well, you're not because it's 2-0. You can win 150-0 in the third game. No one's going to remember next week. It's a false dawn. He's got to go immediately.
Now, speaking of Clint Gutherson, the streaker got more minutes on the field than Gutho did. There's your game plan.
He gets his 30 or 50 grand, depending on who you listen to. Good on him. He earned his spot. Mm-hmm. But don't pick Reece Robson on the bench.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. A maybe legend of the game, maybe not, but Josh Reynolds has called time on his career. Pretty indifferent. He was at the Dogs, played in 2 grand finals, I think, won a State of Origin series. Was one of the halves that stopped that Queensland dynasty going 10 in a row.
He and Trent Hodkinson, of all people. There's a trivia question for you.
Went to the Tigers, went overseas, came back to the Dogs. It didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Now, to his credit, took a step back so they could sign Toby Sexton and has now said, rugby league's just passed me. There's a couple of other players in a blue jersey that probably need to take note of that as well.
It completely is. Now, I'm a fan of Josh Reynolds. I've got to admit, I like the way he plays the game. I like the fact that he embraces it.
I love the fact that he was a competitor and he didn't care if you hated him.
No, he didn't, and he embraced it.
He was the perfect Manly player.
Yeah, completely right. Yeah. And it was funny because he actually sunk Manly with a field goal in a final, if I do believe. It's, another trivia question for you. I was pretty down on the decision when he came back because I thought it's going to stop someone coming through. Now, ultimately, it didn't because he put his money where his mouth is. After the game, in tears, talking to Ennis and the crew, he broke the media ban, and I don't think it applies to him because he's outside the top 30. Said, whatever. That was an interview you had to see. It was in front of Belmore. The guy's fighting tears. Ennis is fighting tears as a former teammate. They asked some pretty fluffball questions, but you're not going to hammer him. Yeah. What did it mean to you? And listening to him, they're the interviews that I want to see. I know they can't all be like that, but I thought the occasion was very good. Look, they got beaten. They got flogged, to be honest, by a very good Bears team. Not a perfect send-off, but in terms of, he got to go out at Belmore in front of a crowd that would have been 10,000 by the time that game ended. It was very good.
No one was going to that New South Wales Cup game until he said he was retiring. So, fair play to him.
Good
Congratulations. A stellar career. Enjoy your retirement. You're a long time retired.
Now, Terry,
your
beloved West Tigers.
Oh, what have these losers done now?
Well, they're in the media again for indifferent reasons, let's be honest. Benji Marshall, incoming coach Benji Marshall, not the head coach yet. It's still in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Now, I don't know if you've heard, Terry, because they've kept it a little bit hush-hush.
I hate the Tigers.
Completely fair, so do I, full disclosure. They've supposedly signed Aiden Caesar, which, that's about what I was expecting, and I don't disagree for the record. Benji Marshall's made the call as the incoming coach, as he has every right to do. Now, the recruitment manager, who's a Fulton, I believe, came in and said, I want so-and-so player, and Benji said, no, I want so-and-so.
But Fulton's player that he wanted was Braden Trindle, by the way.
Well, there you go. And Benji's overruled him. Now, as a coach, the buck stops with who, Terry? The coach. So I'm not going to bag Benji Marshall at all. Now, a story is broken. We've got to be a little bit careful here because it's allegedly ding, ding, ding. Someone has suggested that Benji made the decision because he may allegedly have a role in a company that owns Caesar's contract or his management or something along those lines. And Benji's come out and said that's absolute poppycock and I'm going to sue you. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, there's a few things wrong with this story here, right?
They sign Aiden Caesar.
He has been dreadful for Leeds. Now, I said that to a Tigers fan today who came back and said people were bagging the John Bateman signing. No one ever bagged John Bateman the player. They bagged John Bateman the person who got homesick in Canberra. There are the two coldest places on the planet are the north of England and Canberra. So you don't get homesick, right? The second thing is...
Beautiful beaches in Canberra, though.
The north of England is full of concrete. Canberra is full of concrete. So John Bateman was at home and then just went, you know what? I'm going back home. That's why people were bagging John Bateman. Now, he's gone to the Tigers. He's been okay.
He's been pretty...
He's been okay. All right, I'll give you that. Aiden Caesar was good when he went overseas from Canberra to Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Leeds fans can't wait to see the back of him. I'm a Leeds fan, right? Full disclosure here, I'm a Leeds fan, but I haven't been so into it this year because of
Why,
work
Terry?
and... I don't even know how they're going.
Not well.
Sweet, probably because of Aiden Caesar. But there were people online championing for Luke Brooks to replace him. So that's the first problem. The second problem, if Fulton has come in and said Trindle's got to be our halfback and you've overruled him on that for Aiden Caesar, you're probably going to be a shit coach and you deserve to be at the Tigers. The third thing, I'm not going to touch on the Benji owning a media thing, but if Fulton is the recruitment manager and you're overriding him on an older player for a younger player, then just go in and make Fulton redundant.
Well, ultimately the coach is the one who will get sacked. Now, they wanted that Finu kid from Manly, who had a very, very good origin under 19s or 20s, whatever it is, was probably one of the best players on the park, or was one of the best players on the park. They haven't got him yet.
No, apparently the two brothers are going to Dolphins.
Yeah, which says to me that perhaps this Fulton guy doesn't have the pull he thinks. But I don't like the fact that he's not even the coach yet officially, and he's already in the media arguing with the recruitment manager who's been there like a cup of tea. That ain't good.
Nah.
Funny though.
But it's the Tigers, so who cares? The only way's up from 16th to 7th.
Gary,
Don't talk to me, Daniel.
time to talk some black, white and blue. Now, before we start, can I get an up?
You can get
Fair.
I don't want to talk about these guys.
I thought about giving it a skip, but people are here to see our opinions and we're going to give them. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be good.
Nah, it's not real good.
Are we flat track bullies, Terry? I think
Yeah,
there's
of course
only one
we are.
answer. Yeah, well, there you go, we are.
And look, the answer, the epitome of the flat track bully just stands in our spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, you know, he was brilliant last year, but he's in a patch of shit form at the moment. He's our Nico Hines. Moylan has stood out against the Dogs, the Tigers, and the Dragons. Blake Brayley was man of the match in 2 of those 3 games. At halftime today, Blake Brayley had 3 runs for 19 metres.
That sounds about right.
Blake Brayley finished with 3 runs for 19 metres. Now, someone said to me, can you imagine if Cameron Smith played at the Tigers? Cameron Smith won a legitimate premiership with Brian Norrie and Jermaine Lowe as his forwards. And do you know why? Because he got them on the front foot. Blake Brayley is incapable of doing anything apart from skiing downhill.
Completely fair. Now, I will touch on a potential replacement with him a little bit later in the segment.
Sam Healy.
Well, yeah, it is. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we were terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely deplorably, despicably gross yesterday, and I'll fight anyone who says otherwise. We went in expecting this, and we got exactly what we expected. Now, we were told that everything was sweet. The last 3 weeks were incredible. We were laughed at. We were, put down for our suggestion that, hey, these next 3 weeks, let's put the youngsters in. Let's get some first grade under. Then you can always go back, or you put them in against the Warriors and you see where you're at. We've changed nothing. We put Colhoun in because we had to, and he again was very, very good. But ultimately, we achieved nothing over the last 3 weeks. I would argue that all the good done is now gone, dissipated, and for nothing, because if you can't beat a Warriors team with Rocco Berry in the centres, what good have you got against teams with better players? Much better players.
We had a 60-point advantage on the Warriors in terms of for and against. So if they'd beaten us by 2, we still would have been ahead of them on the ladder. 60-point advantage got overturned. And that was what we were saying about Melbourne the week before. We had a huge advantage for and against on these teams. And yeah, it was... Look, it wasn't good. It was awful. And, we scored the first try so easily, right? We scored that first try so easily. And it was just a case of sitting back, looking at the game, going, what did we do so well to start the game? Didn't throw the ball around. Didn't play panic attack football. completed our sets, kicked well, kicked long. We had a dreadful breeze in the first half as well,
That's
but
right.
our kicking game was still pretty good. Go down there, we built pressure, we scored a try. And then what did we do? We started playing panic football,
Lost
we
the
gave
ball,
away
gave away a
penalties,
penalty.
discipline, errors galore, and it's 22-6. But in that time there, the Warriors scored in 4 sets, back to back to back to back. Who the hell in this team can wrestle some momentum back?
That's the word I wanted to bring up, momentum. We can't get it back. We were very, very good in the opening, probably 8, 9, 10 minutes. Soon as they scored, it was over. And all their heads dropped. And you don't see that. Cam Smith, I go back to him again, going in there and going, boys, what was that? Let's just be better.
Yeah.
It seems that easy.
Yeah.
Now, I thought today, in terms of good players, I thought Nicola was good, I thought Katoa was
our
good,
best, Nicola.
and I thought Colquhoun was flawless off the bench in, again, low minutes. But what I do want to say is we've copped a lot of grief saying Teague Wilton's responsible for a lot of what's gone wrong on the
He was
left.
my man of the match today, Teague Wilton, because he got injured and proved that Matt Moylan is still a fraud.
That's exactly where I was going with this. Thanks again. You forgot to yell spoiler alert.
No, I don't spoil anything.
Wilton went off and we fell to grief on that left-hand side, and that's putting it very nicely. The problem is Matt Moylan, and I would argue, and I know you're going to argue, the problem is Sif Talcott.
No, I'm not going to argue that today.
Well, there you go. And I would argue, obviously, that it's Wade Graham. Now, of course, he was going to put Graham there because he's a career left side second row. I get it. In
Jesse
hindsight,
Colquhoun.
he had to put Jesse Colquhoun there. The guy moved sideways, didn't miss a tackle for the second week in a row. And he's missed 1 tackle out of like 48 in his entire first grade career. And he had his first loss. Which
Yeah,
I
those
want to put.
bastards, yeah.
I want to put an asterisk because he was very, very good. And I thought Tom Hazelton was pretty good too.
How did they take that try? He's a front rower. Surely there's a disclaimer.
Look, they got it right, but
Yeah,
for the
they got it
purposes
right.
of this, how dare you? With that left edge, Terry, again, we expect to see an unchanged lineup. Perhaps Zueli comes in, probably for Colquhoun.
Or I don't think so. There's injuries. So Teague Wilton's going to be out. Sounds like it's anywhere between a 6 to 8 week injury.
That hurts.
Jesse Ramian got hurt at the end of the... Now, I missed this probably because I was like playing with my dogs
fair
or
enough.
whatever. But yeah,
Wade Graham potentially tripped. I'd take an 8-week plea. Even if they say 1, I'd say, no, 8's good.
Well, look, just in case we think that we're going to make a finals game and win it, make it 11.
Yeah, 11 games. 11 games, it's
that'll
completely
do for
fair.
you.
And then you can say, au revoir to France early.
There's nothing positive to come out of this. Left edge was really bad. Our middle
The
sucked.
right wasn't that good either.
Right, so here's the thing. When you talk about our forwards, you have a look at Oregon Kafusi and you have a look at Adam Fanua-Blake. There's not much difference in terms of height, size, weight, whatever.
Footballing ability.
Yeah, one is an absolute and the other one is the best prop in the game.
Yeah, look, I'm way off Kafusi.
Oh, yeah, he sucks.
I thought Toby was okay in his first stint, came on the second, was just...
Oh,
He was there.
Go back to Oregon Kafusi. We made one signing this year for our top 17 and it was him.
Yeah, not a good one.
No.
0 from 1. Again, everyone, the blowtorch was well and truly on Fitz because I don't care about
Yeah,
the
no,
last
it
2
is,
weeks. This was exactly a carbon copy of what happened in Melbourne.
Yep.
Except I would argue that Melbourne are a fast period team to what absolute dross to beat us today. But yeah, that's for more, tune in to Fins Up. Trust me, it's going to be... there's words on there we can say that we can't say here.
A C-bomb on that one. Now, Kaoliro, sounds like he is on his way out of the club. I don't know if he's going over immediately or end of the season, but it sounds like he's going to the Super League. Now, the first link that came out was Castleford, and that has been pushed aside. It sounds like it's Salford.
Look, that's better because Castleford Tigers are the West Tigers of the Super League. They're 2 points above the drop zone over Wakefield, I believe, who are just diabolical.
seriously bad, yeah.
They're like the Tigers. And then they got like a negative 240. Despite what Castleford fans, because they found my tweet and they're like, oh, we're a proud club. I was like, yeah, you're like second last. That's pretty good. But anyways, this is a player who has the world at his feet and was very, very good for Newtown. Very good. Set up the try that spun the game and ultimately sealed
that was
it.
a great finish as well.
Brilliant run. But this is a player who has obvious deficiencies but could probably stick around for the end of the year and get a contract next year. If he's
got
that
a
keen,
contract for next year.
yeah, but if he's that keen to go to Super League, I'd say your head's not in the right spot, see you later. And I'd invest in another kid. We got plenty of them in the flag that could take his outside the top 30.
You just bumped Tom Rodwell.
Yeah, so I'm not particularly worried. I am annoyed that it's come to this. I would name him next week
I'd name
at
him
left
next
centre and say, you go out there and have the game of your life. You got a contract for as long as you want it. If you go in and you whinge and don't play well against Manly, we'll go to Super League. But I don't think this is good either way. I think he's got to stick it out. he could imagine if Melbourne pick him up, because Remus Smith's evidently out at the end of the year. Justin Olin's been terrible. This is the kind of bloke that Craig Bellamy will go, oh, you got a bit of talent, come here. And he'll be the next Nick Meaney. He'll be the next every other player that's ever gone there ever and become a superstar. That worries me. I would stick around. Kyle, we know you're watching because you always do. Stick around and wait for the Storm.
Yeah, if you, like, I saw your tweet today saying that if he goes to Castleford and he's going to go to second division, he should just stay at the Jets. It's essentially the same thing, right?
Except colder.
The
colder.
The only difference is if he goes over to the Super League at Castleford and they stay up in the Super League next year, he has a good season, Wigan pick him up, St Helens pick him up, Leeds pick him up, Warrington, whatever. So I think he's got more chance over there. But
it's a real risk of going over there. And I don't want this to sound as bad as it's going to, becoming a career Super League player. Now, I had a lot of English people in my mentions going, oh, what's wrong with that?
Me.
Going, oh, it worked for Rangy Chase. Who?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Rangy Chase left a terrible Dragons team, went over to the... Came back... Oh, no, so he left a dreadful Tigers team, went over, came back to the Dragons.
Yeah, like, it didn't work for him.
Yeah,
so, look, Kale, be patient, mate.
Jets won.
They did. They were very good today. Braden Trindle was a standout.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go the same way as it did the other couple. 26-12. Yep. Then we can see that try. That was a great try, by the way. Pinpoint kick from Ronald Volkman. It was
a really good try. Now, I thought... Now, so no Stone Street, no Mansour. Now, Mansour was injured.
Now, just to go from your tweets, you were saying, why didn't Connor Tracy play today? I thought that answer was right in front of your face.
Yeah, but they don't say that. That's my problem. That's my issue.
But that answer was right in front of your face.
Look, that's completely fair.
Man.
Where was Stone Street?
He's injured.
Okay, cool, but no one said that.
Beryl's injured.
Yeah, look, Beryl's injured, I know.
Mansour's injured.
Yeah, look, we know now, but I had to ask, which I thought... Whatever, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I thought Sam Healy was our best player on the day.
Oh!
He was exceptional, and shut up your mouth.
Yeah, no, look, I thought he was all right.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He scored a great solo try in his third game ever.
I thought Dean Atkinson was best on ground.
Look, Atkinson was very good, and I think if you're looking for 6...
We don't win that game without Dean Atkinson. Look, I'll take it either way. I'll take it either way on that one. Trindle was really good. Great bounce back to form for him. Niue Puru as well.
Puru was good.
I wish this on the headgear for Tom Roberts as well.
I wish they would stop dropping him and picking him back up. Pick one and leave him there because we need him playing regular football, not this herky-jerky stuff. Calabuelli was fantastic. Jets contracted player. Scored a magnificent solo try. I'd be looking at him next year. I'd say you and Kafusi swap contracts.
Sharbel Tassapali as well. I don't know what more he can do.
He's got to get an upgrade.
He walks into that Tigers team.
He does. Otherwise, look, it was a good win after 2 disgusting losses in a row against a very good Warriors team. They're the reverse of the Sharks.
And finally, Dan, it's this weekend.
Finally. Several years too late.
We've got a black, white, blue team that hopefully we can be proud of. The girls are playing.
The girls are playing. The NRLW kicks off this week, and I'm very, very excited. Our girls, of course, will run around against Canberra before the Manly game. If you're not there early, shame on you, because this is going to be great.
I won't be there early.
Well, you've got 700 kids to look forward to. I'll be there early, so if you want to come down and watch on the corner, please come and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we'll do Canberra. I'm tipping a win. I think the girls get the start. I think Emma Tonagato scores about 15 tries.
I just want to see Jada Taylor in space.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please.
She was exceptional in the trial. I'm really looking forward to this, and it'd be nice to get a win in our colours. So, go the girls.
Dan,
talk to me, Terry.
Some top sport tips.
My actual favourite time of the week.
Yeah, this is my favourite time of the week now. Some pretty good games coming up.
They're up.
Yeah, except for your Thursday night football.
How good is it to have a full round of football?
How good is it though when your Thursday night is ruined by the Dragons playing Tigers?
At least it's out of the way nice and early. There's your positive.
Yeah, I know. Imagine if this was like the 4 o'clock game.
This is the Lockie Derby.
It is.
Yeah, shout out again, Lockie.
Court.
We're behind you, kind of, on this one.
Yeah, look, I don't really care what happens in this game. Both of the teams are dreadful.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Terry, and say...
This will be awful.
Stop me. This will not be a very good game.
No, this will be... The winner of this is going to come from Ben Hunt either having an exceptional game and finally pulling his head in, or Api Coruscant just dragging that pathetic club over the line. I'm going to tip the Dragons.
No, you're not. Although, you might actually get one this week.
Doubt it.
But I'm going to be positive. Positive this game's going to suck. And I'm going to tip Dragons.
Can I? 6 o'clock on your Friday afternoon. This is the game of the round.
What a spin.
This is the absolute game of the round. The New Zealand Warriors at home to the Canberra Raiders. Now, Canberra find themselves in the top 4.
Yep. Fortuitously, dare I say.
Find themselves in the top 4. The Warriors obviously coming off a great win. Back at home, Sean Johnson didn't look like he was sleep deprived.
Ooh.
I tell you what, my heart sunk when he fell to the ground. And I thought he'd done his Achilles again.
Didn't look good.
He straight away held his foot. And, you know,
Was all right after.
at the time, you're kind of going, oh, well, I'm glad, but, you know, 38-12, damage was already done.
Season's over. But he lives to fight another day.
Lives to fight another day. This is going to be a great game. This is one that you need to get home to work from.
Adam Fanua-Blake, Joseph Tarpany, Yelvioti.
Freddy Blake is going to win this battle, and he's going to win the war.
Ooh.
And Sean Johnson is going to kick the Raiders off the park. I'm going to pick the Warriors in this game.
Is it the Chan's...
Oh, how good is that guy?
so good. Like, so good. Is it the Chan's revenge game?
No, because they already had that down in Canberra. And they ruined Toots' 300 game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So he's already had
Just
that.
because of that, I'm tipping the Warriors.
Yeah, he's already had that. No, I don't think he can really care anymore, but what he can do is go and light it up.
I think you will.
By the season?
One of.
Yeah. 8 o'clock on Friday night, the Brisbane Broncos are taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
The Adam Reynolds revenge game.
Yeah. How long has he been?
Several times removed, but still.
But still, Reece Walsh back.
Yeah, that's
the
good.
loophole.
Yeah, I'm actually glad because he was absolutely going to play
He was
Origin.
going to get picked. Yeah, there was no doubt about it as well. Yeah, look, for this game here, I want to get excited by it. I really do, but it's just not a full strength Rabbitohs team. I think the Broncos are going to dust them.
If Latrell doesn't play, I agree. And there's a few, like Campbell Graham's 50-50. So yeah, we'll wait to see the teams. But I'm going to tip Brisbane at home. So I think Reynolds has just been exceptional. This forward battle, though, num.
Payne Haas is going to kill someone.
If he's back, yeah.
Super Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff by not a super game. The Gold Coast Titans taking on the Sydney Roosters.
I think I might go to the Beer Footy Food Festival, Terry.
Yeah, I think I might just do anything but watch this.
Titans! Let's end these Chucky season. How good is it that they're bad just quietly?
The Roosters can't be that bad for this long, right?
You'd think so?
They're bottom 4.
Yeah, it's delicious. I love it. I'm so sorry to the one Roosters fan that watches, but I love this.
I don't know why. I'm going to look at this camera. I'm going to look at you. I really want to slap you.
Fair.
I'm going to pick the Roosters, and I don't know why.
That's your loss. I think the Titans, baby.
You have to, though. 5:30 on Saturday afternoon. Now, this is going to be a great game. If the Warriors-Raiders game doesn't whet your appetite for the weekend, Knights at home to the Storm. Now, the Knights are a mathematical chance of getting in the top 8.
Fair.
Need an absolute miracle to do it.
Hey.
But they're playing some good footy.
Playing some great football. They're scoring points. Ponga's in the form of his career. Bradman Best is going an extra leg.
Tyson Gamble, right? Last year when he was at Brisbane, everyone just said he just fits that Brisbane team. He goes to Newcastle. He is the most Newcastle-looking bloke on the planet.
Look, yeah, he and Hastings are like Newcastle to the bone. I love what's going on up there. I think it's fun. Whether they win this game or not, who knows? But
do you think Dominic Young's got signing regret? Because he's just getting spoon-fed tries.
Look, just a little bit. He had another hat-trick on the weekend. Could have been 6 or 7. Yeah, I dare say so. Probably not next year.
Probably not, yeah, because his pocket's going to be lined.
Yeah, I was going to say his 4th house will help him with the...
Storm, they're just doing what they need to do. 3rd now. This Melbourne team are 3rd.
Yeah, but they haven't been good, and they're sitting 3rd, and that's as Melbourne as you'll ever see.
Yeah.
What about Craig Bellamy? They win, and he's sitting there like this. Of course he won.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Absolutely screaming.
That guy's got to just...
I love him.
Just chill. Yeah, I hope he never goes away.
How someone as stressed as him in his whole life has made it to 70, I don't know. I'm going to pick the Storm.
Yeah, me too, but
This will be a fun game.
Yeah, I'll be happy with a high-scoring game.
And to wrap up your Super Saturday, the North Queensland Cowboys are at home to the Parramatta Eels.
Oh, huge top 8 implications.
Now, Cowboys went to Brookvale in a scrappy game. Manly took them down to their level, and the Cowboys were too good. The Eels, back and forth, you just thought at times they're going to run away with that game against the Titans. Ended up,
squeaking.
nice controversial try from Clint Gutherson. Who do you pick in this game here? Is it the Cowboys' revenge from last year? Are the Eels good enough? I don't think they are. I'm going to pick the Cowboys in this one. They are running hot.
Yeah, the Cowboys have formed team in competition, I think 5 of the last 6 or something. Pretty much since we belted them, they woke up to themselves. So, sorry, NRL, we didn't mean that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think they'll win this game fairly comfortably.
Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock. If you have nothing to do, don't watch this game.
Watch the girls' game. Go
The Penrith Panthers are at home to the Canterbury Bulldogs, and I am going to give the clock a 20.5 in this one.
I think that's about right. Nathan Cleary's back.
No, he's not. They're resting him one more week.
Oh.
He's back against Cronulla.
Smart for the Panthers. That sucks for us. If you had him, though, in Supercoach, as some of us do, this is the game you want him back for because he's running up a cricket score. Mm-hmm. I am not going to build any tension in this other than how many are Penrith going to win by, and I say lots.
Yeah, they're going to win by lots. The Dogs, look, even against Brisbane, they go down fighting. They're trying hard. They're just useless.
They're just no good.
I saw Broncos fans turn around and go, look at all the forwards that aren't playing in this game. Lad, me and you could have ran out for the Broncos and destroyed that Bulldogs team. Give me Penrith here by 100. And finally, Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock, the Sharks against the Seagulls. We've turned the tide. We've won the last 3 against the Seagulls here. I've probably just jinxed the shit out of us.
That's fine. The Derp Derby, I'm hearing them called, because this is going to be bad.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's going to be too bad. Manly, look, they're a pack of misfits led by Daly Cherry Evans and Halami Ulukwatu.
Yeah, but that's enough sometimes.
Yeah, that is enough. If Cronulla can't win this game, they don't play finals.
Oh, yeah, this is the season's on the line here. If we get beaten, see you later.
Yeah.
Jinx, Manly for me.
Yeah.
I see no way that we should lose this game, but we're gonna. Jinx. The girls will beat Canberra, we'll win flag, and I don't care what happens in this game.
I'm not tipping this game. I don't care.
Fair enough.
I'm not tipping it.
You can't make me. Jinx.
Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please.
Follow us on Twitter, give us a like on Instagram, do whatever you need to do.
Just find us. We're everywhere. You cannot get away from us. No, we're not doing the slap this week, Terry.
Come on.
No. Hold on. What's that, rugby league? What? Slap Terry again?
No.